Shadowrun Returns is a turn-based isometric strategy game based in the cyberpunk world of Shadowrun. Accompanied by dialogue and progression mechanics similar to those found in RPGs, this indie title is a very unique start to a series that seems like it can only get better with more support. Shadowrun features a linear campaign with a highly engaging story that starts out simple and maybe just gets a little ridiculous by the end. But in a world of decking into the Matrix, metahuman troll shamans summoning spirits made out of corpses, and drugs basically being replaced entirely by virtual experience chips that are eerily similar to video games, maybe it's hard to judge when something actually becomes strange. There's plenty of dialogue to read, choices to make, and paths to explore that all come with rewards of additional money, karma, or maybe even just the opposite. The campaign unfortunately lacks freedom of movement due to its linear nature, but that's not really a con with this game. It works perfectly fine the way it is. It's just a shame because the game is only about 10 hours long. The linear nature guides you through it pretty quickly. Never fear if you want more content, however. The game is fully equipped with modding support, and plenty of user-made missions and campaigns already exist to lengthen your playtime. Some of them even allow you to import your character from the main campaign and continue to make him the epitome of badassery. Shadowrun's gameplay is similar to other games such as Avernum and XCOM, but it seems to borrow far more from XCOM in the terms that you can still miss a lot with a 99% chance to hit your target. Honestly though, it's a lot of fun. The strategy elements will appeal to any fans of the turn-based genre, and the RPG elements of how the story progresses and how you equip and upgrade your character bring it an appeal to a whole nother market entirely. You see, the game gives you karma instead of levels or experience, and they are essentially skill points that you earn by completing objectives, and more of by sacrificing monetary rewards to do the right thing. My only complaint with how the gameplay actually works is the movement. When you're out of turn-based movement and into the real-time running around and exploring and talking to people, it's very obvious that the characters are still running around in a turn-based mode, since there's a constant pause after every couple of steps, like it's processing the start of a new turn. And when you are moving, you are incapable of quick-saving your game until at least 1 full second after you finish moving. This makes life for saveaholics like myself a little inconvenient, but it makes it even more evident that they didn't actually bother making a real-time free roam mechanic, and instead just reskinned the turn-based movement. It's a shame, but it's no reason to be turned away from the game. A reason to be turned away from Shadowrun would be that it suffers from a lot of bugs. In fact, if you have a bug and Google it to get help, not only will you find plenty of persons with the same bug in the same place, you'll find others who have a completely different bug in the same place as well. The Steam version is notably the buggiest version of this game. It features extra bugs in any potential area, and even features a game-breaking, save-wiping bug that makes it so that if you want to play this game, that I could never recommend you buy it on Steam. The GOG, or Good Old Games, version being the least buggy that I have found, and lacks any game-breaking bugs that I've found in 23 hours of playing it. If you're going to get this game, get it on GOG. The graphics of this game are understandably bad for today. The game was released almost 4 years ago and was a difficult project that even had to be kickstarted to get it off the ground. And thankfully, they put most of their effort into the gameplay and story rather than making it a beauty to look at. The nitty-gritty feeling of the graphics, however, really helps to immerse you in the scary world that is Shadowrun. So long as you can ignore occasional glitches such as shooting an SMG and seeing the bullets come from the opposite corner of the map, flying off to who knows where instead of coming out of the gun like they're supposed to, the graphics really shouldn't be a con. The soundtrack is something I'd like to describe as cyberpunk to the extreme. It definitely fits the setting, and the sound effects are fine, but they're no standing ovation. The game, however, does lack any voice acting whatsoever, which is good to note, because if you do not want to do a lot of reading, then this game is not for you. Overall, Shadowrun Returns is a charming indie title, so unique in every way, I really don't think you should miss it. It gets an 8 out of 10 from me. It was reaching for a 9 out of 10, but all the problems with bugs and its certain flaws stomped it down a bit, making it just barely able to retain an 8 out of 10. Is it worth the full price of $15? Only if you plan on downloading and playing a bunch of user-created storylines. The base game is too short to justify $15, being barely longer than a bare-bones campaign findable in a AAA first-person shooter. I definitely recommend buying this if you like strategy or experiencing new and unique settings. But buy it on sale unless you definitely plan on playing every single mod you can. Just do not buy it on Steam. The bugs there are indefinitely worse and more common than the GOG version in the base game, but especially also in the mods. In the mods, there's plenty more bugs than the base game by default, and almost twice the amount of reported bugs are Steam exclusive. And just in case you don't know what GOG is yet, I'll leave a link to the Shadowrun store page on GOG in the description. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys on the next Res Reviews.